And in sports, baseball and softball is in for another busy weekend as we move into April. Newswatch starts right now. I'm Nick Beeland, and welcome to Newswatch, your source for all news impacting southeastern Ohio. Ohio University students who won a coronavirus vaccine before heading home to their family may be in luck. The Athens Messenger reports that Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced Thursday that a statewide would be launching a vaccination drive for college students ahead of early May. DeWine announced that Ohio will launch vaccination drives on college campuses across the state beginning next week. The governor stated that virtually every school you can think of in Ohio will be involved in the program. OU students will be able to get a single dose of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine from a clinic opening up at Heritage Hall next week. In his announcement, DeWine emphasized the urgency with which young people need to get vaccinated so as to stop the spread. Despite the increasing number of Ohioans getting vaccinated, the number of positive tests in Ohio have been increasing. The 7-day case average was more than 1,800 this week, a 300 case increase from the previous week. The Ohio Department of Health, Dr. Bruce Vanderhoff, said that many of the highest case counts are in northern Ohio. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced that the statewide mask mandate would end when there are 50 cases per 100,000 Ohioans over 2 weeks. However, that current statewide case rate has increased from under 150 to 167 per 100,000. As the COVID pandemic continues to hurt Ohio, many counties are finding ways to alleviate the pain. The Southeastern Ohio Food Bank will be hosting a food drive distributions at 1005 CIC Drive in Logan. Distributions will be Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. until the end of April. Food items will be given to families who are within 230% of the federal poverty level and residents of the food bank's 10-county service area. An ID and proof of residency no more than 60 days old is required. The distributions will begin on April 6th. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine isn't the only political leader urging others to get vaccinated. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell urges fellow Republicans to get vaccinated during a visit to a hospital in western Kentucky. McConnell stated that he wasn't reluctant to be vaccinated when he became eligible and encouraged everyone to do so. McConnell was at odds with former President Donald Trump last year over wearing a mask, something McConnell consistently encouraged. Kentucky will open up vaccine eligibility to anyone 16 and older starting Monday. COVID isn't the only urgent matter that the region is attempting to combat. The Appalachian Region Commission is awarding $9.4 million in grants to 30 projects in a dozen states. The grants will aid programs that address the region's substance abuse crisis by creating or expanding programs dedicated to recovery. The funding will help train and certify recovery specialists and launch recovery to work programs. Now, let's take a look at your local weather with Aaron.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erin Ashley, and I'm bringing you today's weather forecast. If you look at the visible satellite image right here, you see right here, southeast Ohio, we are experiencing little to no cloud coverage, which could account for some lower temperatures we experience throughout the next couple days. But for right now, let's talk about how our temperature in Athens is 45 degrees. We see clear skies, but temperatures will drop overnight, and winds are coming from the north-northwest direction at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Across the region right now, we experience a very wide range of temperatures stretching from our low areas of 43 degrees in New Lexington right here, 43 degrees in Cambridge, and 44 degrees in New Martinsville. And our hot spots down here in the south, 47 degrees in Ironton, 46 degrees in Ripley. If we take a look at some highlights for this week, we are in effect for some freeze warnings later on tonight and overnight. From 9 p.m. to 11 a.m. and cooler weekend temperatures are expected. However, will we experience some spring-like temperatures heading early into next week and throughout the week next week? I will discuss this and more in my full forecast, but for now, back to you, Nick.
A Hocking County couple are facing felony charges after a search of their property by authorities in January revealed over 40 animals as well as a number of weapons. Bobby and Tracy Fox are facing 2 felony counts each of cruelty to companion animals. According to the Logan Daily News, the Hocking County Sheriff's Office received a complaint of animal neglect and cruelty at the couple's home. A search by authorities revealed a number of dogs without food or water, both inside and outside the residence. Authorities seized 42 dogs, an estimated 80 to 120 pigeons, 2 cows, and several chickens. Ohio's top law enforcer placed one of the nation's largest zoos under investigation Thursday. Attorney General Dave Yost review followed a Columbus Dispatch investigation. The investigation uncovered that the then president and CEO and then CFO allowed relatives to live in houses owned or controlled by the zoo. The two also sought tickets for family members to the zoo entertainment events. Both executives resigned Monday. The Pi Kappa Alpha International fraternity is facing 6 violations of Bowling Green State University's Code of Conduct. The 6 violations include 4 counts of hazing, 1 count of harm to others, and 1 count of alcohol violation. According to the Columbus Dispatch, each of the hazing charges reflects a different aspect of the school's code of conduct that fraternity members broke during an initiation ritual that led to the death of 20-year-old sophomore Stone Foltz. An April Fool's joke backfired Thursday for a woman in Springfield, Ohio. The Clark County Sheriff's Office said a female worker texted her sister saying there was an active shooter at her job at the Navis Star facility. The sister immediately called 911 and law enforcement from multiple police agencies responded to the plan. When they entered the facility looking for a reported active shooter, they were eventually told that the report was an April Fool's joke. The female worker has been identified as Pamela Sisko, who was subsequently arrested. The sheriff said that she put a lot of people in danger today over the prank. There is no word yet on what charges that she may face. See what exactly transpired during an attack at the U.S. Capitol only hours ago and how the nation and those involved are reacting. Those stories and more when Newswatch returns. Already on heightened alert, an incident at the U.S. Capitol prompted a lockdown just hours ago. The details are still under investigation, but one officer was killed, another is injured, and an armed suspect is dead. Karen Kafa has the latest information from Washington.
National Guard troops inside the halls of Congress after an incident outside the U.S. Capitol Friday led to a total lockdown. On Friday afternoon, U.S. Capitol Police responded to reports of a driver ramming a vehicle into 2 Capitol Police officers and a barricade on Constitution Avenue. A senior congressional aide and U.S. Capitol Police tell CNN that driver exited the car brandishing a knife. The U.S. Capitol Police reported a suspect taken into custody. The suspect later reported dead. 2 Capitol Police officers were injured in the incident. One has now died.
This has been an extremely difficult time for U.S. Capitol Police after the events of January 6th and now the events that have occurred here today. So I ask that you keep our U.S. Capitol Police family in your thoughts and prayers.
Congress is not in session this week, and few lawmakers are working in the Capitol complex. Congressman Ro Khanna of California had just stepped out of his office when it all transpired.
When I came back, I had frantic calls from someone on my staff saying, get away, there's an incident. And honestly, it did bring back memories of January 6th.
The scene with the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th is still fresh in lawmakers, officers, and Americans' minds. A massive outer ring of fencing erected around the campus after the riots was removed just weeks ago.
President Biden is aware of the Capitol incident, according to the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki. Biden is not in the White House. He is at Camp David, where he is spending the Easter weekend. The attack, though, has resulted in the death of a Capitol officer. Capitol Police responded to the north barricade, where a vehicle was driven into two police officers. Authorities say the suspect got out of the car with a knife and police shot at him. One of the officers was reportedly stabbed during the attack.
The suspect rammed his car into two of our officers and then hit the north barricade barrier.
Capitol Police officials say the incident doesn't appear to be terrorism related. The FBI is now helping with the investigation. And while the attack has left damage and heartbreak in its wake, there is no longer an immediate threat.
At this time, it does not appear to be an ongoing threat. Obviously, we're in the very early stages of our investigation. We need to obviously understand the motivation behind this senseless act. So the Metropolitan Police Department will certainly be doing that.
Authorities have identified the U.S. Capitol Police officer killed Friday as William Billy Evans. Evans died from injuries he suffered following an attack at the Capitol's north barricade by the lone assailant. Evans had served with the Capitol Police for 18 years and was a member of the Capitol's Division's First Responders Unit. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi ordered flags at the Capitol to be flown at half-staff on Friday in honor of Officer Evans. As migrants continue to flood the U.S.-Mexico border, see how those in power are responding to it.
Get ready to experience some mild temperatures as we head into next week. Just how soon will rain appear in our area? This and more in my full forecast, but for now, let's take a look at stocks of local interest. Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm forecaster Erin Ashley. If we look across the region right now, we see a wide variety of temperatures stretching as low as 43 degrees in New Lexington and 43 degrees in Cambridge to as high as 47 degrees in Ironton. The hour by hour for tonight in Athens at 8 p.m. we see a temperature of 39 degrees with some clear skies. These clear skies will allow for temperatures to drop as we head overnight. 34 degrees at 10 p.m. and 29 degrees at midnight. That chance of frost will increase throughout the night, so be prepared. If we look at tonight in Athens, our low of 19 degrees is hit with a very clear sky, very light winds, and frost very likely to increase. The likelihood of frost will increase as we head into the wee hours of the morning. Winds come from the northwest direction at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Across the region tonight, you see that there are very low temperatures, strikingly low perhaps, in the high teens in 19 degrees in Athens, 18 degrees in New Lexington, and the higher temperatures being in Columbus, 26 degrees. In fact, a record was hit in West Virginia. Parkersburg has reached a new low of 21 degrees today. At the hour by hour for tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., sub-freezing temperatures will linger, 21 degrees. If you have morning plans, be prepared. 10 a.m., 33 degrees. Gradual warming will bring you to 44 degrees at noon with some cloudy skies as we head into the afternoon. Tomorrow in Athens, 58 degrees will be the high as clouds clear into the p.m. and temperatures will climb up as we head into the afternoon as well. If we look across the region tomorrow, we see some very nice temperatures ranging from the high 50s, such as 59 degrees in Jackson, to even the 60s in Ironton, 60 degrees. There is a freeze warning in effect for the majority of our region. You can see down here, the Southeast Ohio region, these counties will be affected by a freeze warning in effect from 9 p.m. today until 11 a.m. tomorrow. These in combinations with these two counties up in Kentucky, Greenup and Boyd, as well as these western counties in West Virginia, all affected, so be prepared and plan accordingly tomorrow and overnight. If we look at the jet stream, you see that the jet stream has brought in a very beautiful high pressure system into our area. But this explains the clear temperatures and the rising temperatures as we head into next week, into Saturday, tomorrow. We see some more clear skies, no real exciting weather for tomorrow. And Sunday, you see the high pressure, which will bring in some nice weather as we head into next week. In fact, next week, if we take a look into next week, you can see that temperatures will increase throughout the weekend. 58 degrees tomorrow, 67 degrees on Sunday, and even to the lower 70s, 71 degrees Monday, and it will progress later on into the week with a chance of precipitation likely later on into the end of the week. Back to you, Nick.
Migrants are continuing to flood the border of U.S. and Mexico. Officials say almost 172,000 migrants crossed or tried to cross the border in March. That number includes 18,800 unaccompanied children, which is a new record. The Department of Human and Health Services is scrambling to open new sites intended to accommodate the children. Customs and Border Protection transfers kids out of its detention centers to more suitable facilities run by the HHS, but there has to be more room for them. The White House has acknowledged the high number of unaccompanied minors. Its coordinator of the southern border says those numbers will eventually come down and that providing aid to the countries they are fleeing is the best way to help curb the flow. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki acknowledged the issue during a press briefing Friday.
We are not naive about the challenge, but what our focus is on is solutions and actions to help address the unaccompanied minors who are coming across the border and making it less of an incentive to come.
Running counter to Psaki's address of the issue, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin urged President Joe Biden to do something.
I mean, to blame the Biden administration, I strictly believe Joe Biden is the one person that can put the compassion to doing this and doing it right. I truly believe that, and not have that type of an attitude that someone else's responsibility and someone else's fault. We can do that differently than what we've done it before, but we do have a human crisis coming, and the human crisis has been coming quite a period of time. It's coming long before either the Trump administration or the Biden administration, and it seems to continually go in cycles. And what we're seeing today, and the mass of people coming, especially the children, it's something that's going to continue until we do something about it.
The Biden administration announced Thursday that it will end a Trump-era rule that automatically rejected certain immigration applicants. During the Trump administration, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services would reject applications for asylum or immigration benefits when a blank space was left on the forms. Examples of fields that might be left blank include middle name, passport or travel document number, and other names used. Critics said it was a blatant attempt to further crack down on legal immigration. USCIS confirmed Thursday that all applications forms it has reverted to the pre-Trump policy regarding blank responses.
Hello there, I am Jacob Murray, and coming up in sports, the Ohio volleyball team is getting ready for the MAC tournament, and I'll explain why they might have a good shot at being a tough out this postseason. But first, stay tuned to WOUB, and here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station. Yeah, so the breaking news thing that I put up isn't popping up first, so I don't know if there's anything we can do about that before we get back, but just curious. Jacob. No, I got it. I'm talking to him through the mic. You're good. Yeah. I have it right here. I thought so. Okay, so, and the full screen will be up as well, right? Cool, sounds good. Welcome back. I am Jacob Murray. A bit of breaking news broke into WOUB at the top of the hour as former OU basketball player Jason Carter is heading back to Athens. The forward played 2 years at Xavier after being with the Bobcats his first 2 years in college basketball. It'll be interesting to see where he fits in the Bobcats' plans next season, and we are still awaiting the word of whether Jason Preston will return. The Ohio volleyball team is set to take on the Western Michigan Broncos in their first match of the MAC tournament that is set to begin here soon at 7 o'clock p.m. The Bobcats come into the tournament playing red hot as they have won 6 of their last 7 matches and will look to keep that going later tonight. Ohio is coming off a win against Northern Illinois last Saturday, sweeping the Huskies 3-0. Sitting at 12-7 on the season, the Bobcats might be a tough out for anybody after such a great end to the regular season. Coach Dean Webb will lean on his team leaders and seniors Tia Jimerson and Vera Giacomouzzi to help the rest of the group play up to the level he knows they can play at.
People that our team looks to for leadership. Looks to for different things. I mean, Vera is going to be more the calming voice and the saying the right things in the huddle. Tia is going to be the energy provider, and they both have important roles. As you get down to postseason, you want to have a pretty good idea of who people want to follow, and those were the 2 names. It was Vera and Tia.
For updates on the tournament and more on OU sports, check out woub.org. The volleyball team won't be the only ones playing away from Athens this weekend, as the Ohio baseball team traveled to Scott Park Field in Toledo to take on the Rockets. Game 1 started today at 3 o'clock p.m. as the Southpaw freshman Joe Rock got the start for the Bobcats, and he was brilliant, tossing 8 innings with 9 strikeouts as Ohio was able to come away with the victory 13-2. There will be 3 more games played this weekend as the Bobcats will play a doubleheader on Saturday and end out this weekend matchup with one more game on Sunday, which first pitch set for 1 o'clock p.m. The Ohio softball team will also battle it out in a series on the road as they travel to take on the Kent State Golden Flashes. First game of the series was played earlier today at 3 as the Bobcats fell in this game 3-1. After scoring a run in the first inning, the Bobcats couldn't find a rhythm offensively and were unable to back up a solid outing from freshman Mackenzie Cole, who pitched 6 strong innings for Ohio. The Bobcats will look to bounce back with a doubleheader tomorrow and one more matchup against Kent State on Sunday, with first pitch set for 1 o'clock p.m. on both days. And Major League Baseball is back, and both Ohio teams are playing on opening day this past Thursday. We start off with the Cincinnati Reds playing at home against the St. Louis Cardinals. Luis Castillo getting the start, and he had a rough beginning as Dylan Carlson rips a 3-run shot, and the Reds would be down 6-0 after that. And look, now it's 7-1, and the first mistake for Cardinals starter Jack Flaherty as Nick Castellanos rips a 2-run shot to cut the lead, skipping his way to first and back to the dugout. But the Cardinals kept pouring it on. They would win this game 1 over the Reds 11-6. Cincinnati will look to bounce back tomorrow when first pitch at 4:15 p.m. The Cleveland Indians had a chilly opening day against the Detroit Tigers with reigning AL Cy Young Award winner Shane Bieber on the mound, facing Miguel Cabrera early on. And Cabrera rips this one, and it is a 2-run home run. He didn't even know it was gone, and just like that, the Tigers jump out in front 2-0. Cleveland would fight back in the 9th inning on this Roberto Perez 2-run blast, but the rally would be shut down by Tigers reliever Gregory Soto. And the Tigers win this one 3-2 after a pop-up ends the game. Cleveland will be back in action on Saturday with first pitch set for 1:10 p.m. And now baseball season is back in full swing. And Nick, it's very exciting. And I'm Jacob Murray in sports. Nick, back to you.
Thank you, Jacob. A man who was serving.
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. I didn't think it would ever get here. But I made it. I'm proud of Gerald, because he didn't give up. He didn't do what they wanted him to do. They wanted him to do it their way, but he refused.
A judge granted Reed a new trial in 2018, but he has remained in prison, Shackelford said. She believes her son will be released either Friday or Monday. And now let's take a look at your local last look at weather with Aaron.
Thanks, Nick. If we look at the weather tomorrow at Athens, we will reach a high of 58 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, but don't fear, clouds will clear as we head into the afternoon as temperatures will increase as well. Winds come from the southwest direction at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Across the region, we see some very nice weather, mostly cloudy skies, but relatively very nice temperatures with 60 degrees in Ironton. The southern portions of our area, very warmer temperatures, high 50s. If you head to the northern part of our area, 57 degrees here in Newark and 56 degrees in Cambridge. And then if we look at the freeze warnings for tonight in the Ohio counties, these counties right here are affected for our viewing area, as well as the counties here in Kentucky, Greenup and Boyd. And then again, right here, the western portion of West Virginia. And here, if you take a look at next week, we have warmer temperatures. Back to you, Nick.
And I'm Nick Veland, and that does it. That does it for our evening broadcast. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Veland. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.